बोले श्री सतगुरु महाराज जी की जय, सच्चे दरबार की जय. Today we present weekly satsang from Akhand Gyan, the monthly magazine of Divyajyoti Jagrati Sansthan, inspired by His Holiness Ashutosh Maharaj ji. This article is from March 2011. The topic is Sai belongs to me only. Balaram remained bothered. In the presence of the ashram of Sai Baba, brisk divine activities were in progress. The showers of His grace arrived like the gentle rain from the heavens. All those who came in His contact were blessed in various ways. Some got His affection, their inner realms were sanctified, while others were blessed with the precious jewel of Seva. But Bala, remained distressed and disgusted because he felt that it was only he who was distanced. For the last few days, Sai was giving him a stepmotherly treatment. Ere long, Balaram was the apple of Sai's eye, but now he felt as if he was like the thorn in his eyes. When Balaram went in front of him, he turned his face to the other side. If he asked some question, tried to initiate a conversation, the reply from Sai was cryptic and stern. What was the issue after all? Why was Sai so dry and showed neglect towards him? Actually, Balaram took his Sai to be only the physical body attired in white robe. Sai was like an intimate relative to him, in whose association he was to spend his life under one common roof. This feeling was his conviction. Besides, much other negativity existed in his mind and had taken roots in his personality. Jealousy, hatred, unhealthy competitive spirit, hunger for power. This incident happened only recently. From Ahmednagar, Kaka Sahib had arrived for Sai's darshan. He had come after many years to see his guru. On seeing him, blissful waves of affection engulfed Sai's heart. The endless divine nectar-like grace flowed through Sai. Kaka Sahib was greatly blessed to spend those precious moments in Sai's presence. Sai placed his hand on Kaka Sahib's head and blessed him with deep affection. But on witnessing this extraordinary sight, Bala felt as if he was hit by a thunderbolt. Sai's kind disposition to his dear disciple Kaka upset Bala. The fire of jealousy enveloped Bala's heart. Then, what happened in the afternoon during lunchtime? Bala, give this Hari Prasad which you have brought for me to Kaka. He has reached here after a long journey. He will draw some strength by consuming these vegetables. Go, give it to him, Sai instructed Bala thus. On listening to these words, Bala felt as if he was bitten by a snake. Restricted by a devotee's code of conduct, he did not express his aggression. He could control his tongue with great difficulty, but within his mind, he protested in an unpleasant manner. Seething with anger, but with show of normalcy, he said, "Oh yes, why not? Sai, so much for him and nothing for me?" Bala's inner fight was on. In his annoyance, he failed to grasp the head and tail of the issues from the spiritual angle. Burning with anger, he did not take food for the whole day, and it was too much to bear for Bala when, in the evening, Sai commenced his usual walk. That day, Sai kept his hand for support on the shoulders of Kaka that were bent with humility and moved away. Bala stood behind with stooped shoulders. Engulfed in the flames of anger, he too followed Sai, stamping his leg. Sai was observing all these childish gestures of Bala. He understood what was going on in Bala's mind. He knew that Bala was trying to establish his total authority on him. He was habituated to be in the center of the activities and attention, not here and there to be sidelined. Instead of valuing Guru's glimpse, he wished to be in the presence of Guru and be noticed by him. Far from following the wishes of Guru, he intended to provide directions to the Guru, and all this was due to his misapprehension that he considered Sai to be being with flesh and blood. He was unable to comprehend the extraordinary and divine manifestation of Sai. But how could Sai see the fall of his own disciple? Thus comments the Sai Leela, the divine play. Sai wore the veil of disinterestedness as for Bala. With the help of that, Sai wished to take Bala to the supreme state of consciousness. Then came the day of Dasera, a festival which is celebrated in India. In Sai's Darbar, the festive atmosphere prevailed. The devotees of Sai arrived from distant villages and cities. The abode of Guru had the appearance of a colorful fountain. Sai was also ready for the extraordinary event. Spiritual witticism flowed through his divine heart. Hearty laughter and his typical great clapping added to the merriment of the occasion. In between, he would suddenly turn solemn to say highly relevant spiritual revelations. Amidst this spiritual vigor, Sai Baba suddenly stood up. He went near the sacred fireplace in the courtyard. The fire glowed and the heap of the sacred ash lay accumulated around it. With a considerable enthusiasm, Sai took fistfuls of it. Then in a raised voice, he said, "Sabka Malik Ek, the Lord of all is one." The devotees were waiting for such a divine utterance, as if reverberations of hail echoed all around. Om Sai Ram, Jai Sai Ram, Samrat Swami, Jai Sai Nath. The sweet devotional clapping followed relentlessly. The devotees surged forward one at a time, palms cupped together. Sai began to distribute the sacred ash. Take, Udi, the sacred ash. Take this, take. That was not the ash of the burnt sticks of wood. That was the Mahaprasad, great blessings of Sainath. That was not simply the medicinal powder to heal the secular difficulties and wounds. That was the divine capital of austerities of Sai. That was the storehouse of renunciation. The one who came in contact with its blessed touch, his mind turned into sort of a cremation ground. As for the negativities of the mind, it was destroying the evil tendencies of the individual with its divine power. Om Sai Ram, Jai Sai Ram, Samrat Swami, Jai Sai Nath. Modulations of Sai's holy name picked up tempo. From the hands of Sai, treasures of blessings were being showered. Just then, Balaram's turn came. With a sense of ownership, he opened the cupped palms and extended them towards Sai. His lips loosened to a proud smile. But what was that? The generous giver did not oblige. Bala's extended palms remained empty. The poor one felt cheated, taken aback. Others in the queue were amply rewarded by the benign blessings of Sai. They had bag full of Sai's generous devotions and donations, but Balaram's bag remained empty. Only that of Balaram's. It was high and dry, just like his heart. Something more that was well beyond explanation and expectation was there for everyone to witness. Sai was up to some extraordinary leela. He was applying the share of the sacred ash of Bala all over his own body, on his chest, on his throat, on his forehead. Without actually speaking, Bala was saying as if, "This body is not going to live forever. The real Sai resides in your heart. Therefore, don't attach yourself to my physical existence, O ignorant." Bala was dumbfounded, stood stupefied. All around, Sai Bhajan was in full swing. Om Sainath, Samrat Swami Jai Sainath. Along with that, the Leelas of Sai also continued unabated. Then commenced the next stage of Sai's divine play. The famous singer from Mumbai, Satarji, whom people hailed as the modern Tukaram, appeared in the courtyard. He had brought for Sai an intricately woven garland of jasmine flowers. With tender feelings, he offered the garland that adorned Sai's neck. He did the salutations by prostrating at the feet of Sai and said, "Baba, in every nook and corner, I have been fortunate to listen to your glory. Kindly accept the first pranam, salutations of this humble servant." Sai said plainly, "But Satar, I know you since 4 years." Satar, totally surprised, "But Baba, how is that possible? I have come to Shirdi for the first time, and neither have you come to Mumbai ever." Sai Baba said, "O Satar, I tell you the truth. This is not our first meeting. We have met before." Having heard that, Satar began to ponder deep. The gentle breeze of divinity opened the doors and windows of his inner spiritual mansion. He recalled about 4 years ago, he had visited one of his friend's house who was a Sai devotee. His friend had kept for worship the Swaroop, portrait of Sai Baba, in his temple. At that time, Satar was facing certain serious secular problems, and on the advice of his friend, he had prayed and recounted his sufferings, seeking Sai's grace for mitigating them. As soon as Satar remembered that episode, he fell at the feet of Sai. "Sadguru, O Sadguru, my Sai Ram, you are the Lord. There is no place where you are not present." Crying like a child, Satar recounted that incident. But the real target of the day was Baba's dear devotee Balaram. Therefore, Sai turned his attention to Shama, who was standing beside Bala, and said, "Shama, Satar had talked to me in Mumbai. How then that conversation reached up to me here at Shirdi?" And emotionally charged Shama said, "What to talk about Mumbai and Kolkata, Gurudev? Each and every atom of this cosmos is resplendent with the power and impact of your Leelas. What to talk of 4 years? In each and every being of your relationship stands, established since ages. It is inseparable." With his playful eyes, Sai began to cast his glances at Bala. He then told Shama, "Tell this friend of yours, Bala, some such stories about Sai Ram. The goddess of discrimination will shower her benign grace on him as well. Sai's direct indictment touched even the tough hearts that were slow to respond to spiritual truths. But the windows of the inner world of Bala were not opening due to the thick coat of rust of ignorance accumulated over him. Doubts persisted in his mind about the ways of working of the divine Sai. A relentless questioning and counter-questioning went on inside him. Next morning, Sai had taken the decision. He called for Bala and issued orders straight away. Bala, there is a fort near Satna, Mishindargar. You move over there, do lots of dhyan sadhana, and engage yourself in spreading the message of Ram, Brahmagyan. Bala felt as if someone had pulled his life force nerve by nerve, as if the thunderbolt struck on his inner and external worlds. Total commotion engulfed his heart. His breathing was in jeopardy. The fever of pain took over his entire being. Bala shrieked with anguish, "No, Sai, you can't do this to me. Do not snatch from me my right to live. I am accustomed to being loved by you. By staying away from you, without the tender shade of your grace, I will be lifeless. Nothing else remains for me." But Sai sat like the statue of alabaster, hard and silent, without any reactions and movement. "Listen, O Sai. Listen, O Sainath. Why have you singled out me? Why this injustice to me?" Bala cried, but Sai sat still, without batting an eyelid. During the course of the day, as per instructions from Sai, a cart arrived. Bala's personal belongings were bundled up and handed over to him. The desperately crying Bala, as he moved towards the exit gate, he looked back for the last time with the fond hope that some corner of Sai's heart may melt, but nothing doing. Sai was in his rock-like stance. This too is a unique poster of Guru, and it is necessary as well. The seed grows and develops not by tender care in an enclosure, but by the lashings of the gale and tempest. The cold turns to diamond due to acute pressure only. Mishendragarh was such a place of penance for Bala. Initially, he lived a hard life amidst rocks and boulders of that port, cursing his plight. He used to list his complaints against Sai and submit them before none else but Sai. Soon, the bundle of complaints became enveloped in the shades of remembrance of Sai. Recounting the various incidents of Sai's love, he continued to suffer and cry day and night. Finally, he remembered the commands of Guru Agya, Dhyan, meditation, and spreading the message of Ram, Brahmagyan. Bala spread the asana, sat straight, gently closing the eyes, and commenced meditation in right earnest. After many years, he began the journey within to the real abode of Sai. Otherwise, even after Gyan Diksha, initiation into Brahmagyan, his meditation was just melancholy, sitting cross-legged and doing it like the physical exercise, without the involvement of inner devotional feelings. But now began meditation in the real sense, to meet the Sai who resided in his inner being. Then one day, "Baba, you When did you come here? Bala asked in wonderment. Bala, there was no moment when I was not here. You only had curtains in front of your eyes, and hence you weren't able to see me. Sai Baba said to Bala thus. That was a unique moment. Bala was saying Baba within and without. Bala was present, and Baba was present in both his inner world and external world. He had materialized before Bala in his divine extraordinary form. Bala said, Baba, why did you forsake me, kept me at distance? Sai Baba said, so that you can establish nearness with me in the real sense. That separation only has paved way for this glorious affectionate union. Look how close you are to me now. Formerly, I remained in the pupils of your eyes, but now I remain established in your heart. My presence is there in each and every pore of your body. You have achieved the state of total merger within my being. Look here, Bala. Now you will not be jealous of anyone. In your inner world, in my extraordinary divine form, I am yours, just yours. Yours totally, not less, not more, not half, not incomplete. I am yours entirely. No need for you to divide me or my love. Nobody will lay a claim to that love, which is only yours. You have the absolute right on me. You are the supreme. As for your authority and rule on me, I will remain yours and you will remain mine. Yes, only mine. I need not sort out your true feelings towards me because they are pure and total, not fragmented through jealousy or negativities. You are mine and I am yours forever and ever till eternity. This is the complete and permanent union in real sense. To read more such articles, please subscribe to our monthly magazine Akhand Gyan, available in 3 languages, Hindi, English, Punjabi. You can subscribe to the magazine by clicking on the link mentioned in the description. बोलिए श्री सतगुरु महाराज जी की जय, सच्चे दरबार की जय, बोलिए श्री आशुतोष महाराज जी की जय।